If you're trying to break into cybersecurity as a SOC analyst, you are probably guessing at what do I focus on? One job posting says Splunk, another one says Microsoft Sentinel, and one says that you need 3 years of experience. The other one says entry-level role, but lists out 10 different certifications. It is exhausting, and it is one of the reasons why most people give up before they even apply. So I sat down and I pulled a dozen of junior SOC analyst job descriptions, and what I found is that hiring managers are asking for the same thing over and over again. So in today's video, I am going to walk you through exactly what they are looking for, the technical abilities that show up, the certifications that matter, and the one thing that every job posting requires that nobody talks about. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, hello, my name is Steven and I've been working in cybersecurity for over a decade, mainly within the security operations domain. On this channel, you'll find videos on career guidance, lab walkthroughs, and projects that you can tackle and put onto your resume. I also run a free community for aspiring SOC analysts called the MyD for SOC community. So if you want to be surrounded with like-minded individuals working towards the same goal, I would highly recommend checking it out. Link will be in the description down below. Now, before we get into anything technical, you do need to understand what the job actually looks like day to day. Because if you don't know what you're training for, you are going to waste a lot of time on the wrong things. Across every job description I read, the day by day was almost identical, as it should be. You'll be monitoring security alerts coming in from a SIM or an EDR, a firewall, or many other security tools. You'll be triaging those alerts to figure out if they are a real threat or a false positive. You will be investigating logs and network traffic to confirm what happened, and you'll be documenting everything in a ticketing system before escalating it to a senior analyst or your client. Almost every posting required 24/7 shift work. Rotational shifts, nights, weekends, some had 4 days on, 4 days off. So if you're picturing a 9 to 5 SOC job, that is honestly not the reality for most entry-level roles. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but you should expect shift work, especially as a junior analyst. The one thing that did show up in every posting and almost nobody talks about is communication. Hiring managers want to know that you can explain a malware investigation to someone who is not technical, and they will absolutely test you on this in interviews. So if you have been focused entirely on the technical side of things, and you have ignored writing and communication, that right there is a gap that you need to close. Speaking of the technical side, one of the first requirements is SIM experience. Every posting wanted it. Splunk and Microsoft Sentinel were by far the most common, and they were almost evenly split. So if you're wondering, which one do I learn? Well, pick either or and you're not going to go wrong. ArcSight, QRadar, and Elastic did show up as well, but if you can demonstrate that you understand how a SIM works, how to write a query, and how to investigate an alert, you can pick up any of them. Next was EDR. CrowdStrike and Microsoft Defender for Endpoint were the most common ones, but here is something that I really want you to understand. Hiring managers don't just want to see EDR on your resume. They want to know if you can look at a process tree, identify suspicious activity on an endpoint, and explain what you are seeing. Then there is the one skill that many skip, which is networking fundamentals. We have TCP/IP, DNS, firewalls, and VPNs. This came up in every job posting, and I cannot tell you how many times that I have seen aspiring analysts struggle in interviews because they just jumped straight into the tools without understanding the basics. If you don't understand how DNS works, you are going to have a tough time investigating a suspicious DNS query. If you don't understand how HTTP works, you can't read a proxy log. So if you are watching this and you have been avoiding networking because it feels boring, this right here is part of the video where I am telling you to stop avoiding it. Operating systems was another big one. We have Windows and Linux, not one or the other. Know where the security relevant logs live and how to navigate around it when you need to investigate something. The MITRE ATT&CK framework also showed up almost everywhere. You do not need to memorize every technique, but you should understand what the tactics and techniques are and how to map an investigation back to the framework. And finally, we got incident response fundamentals. We got things like identification, containment, eradication, recovery, and lessons learned. This is the life cycle of how a real incident plays out. And hiring managers want to know if you understand it because that is literally the job. Now, there were a few areas that did not show up in every posting, but came up often enough that I would put them on your radar. Scripting with PowerShell or Python, cloud experience with Azure or AWS, SOAR platforms like Cortex X SOAR, and ticketing systems like ServiceNow. Unfortunately, it is very likely that you won't have direct access to some of these, but you can always look into open source solutions. At the end of the day, the concept and understanding is what matters most rather than the tool or platform. Next, let's talk about certifications. Across every job description I read, 3 certifications came up the most. We have CompTIA Security Plus, CompTIA CISA Plus, and the GIAC GSEC. Security Plus is going to be the one that you should get if you are just starting out and you have nothing yet. CISA Plus did come up quite a bit in job postings, so if you already have the Security Plus and you want to take another certification, then this could be a good choice. And GSEC, well, that is quite pricey and out of reach for many. But one thing that I really want you to keep in mind is that certifications can help you get past the resume screening, but they will not help you get the job. So now that you know what hiring managers want, how do you build all of this if you do not have a job yet? Well, the answer is the same one that I always come back to, and that is you need proof of work. You need to be able to walk into an interview and talk about the cool things that you built or investigated. So to get started with this, you want to look into creating yourself a home lab. Get something like Microsoft Sentinel, set up a free Azure account, or maybe stand up a Splunk instance on a virtual machine. Get logs flowing in and start working through scenarios. Simulate a phishing attack, maybe a brute force attack, or even a malware execution. And then write up a one-page report on what you found, what you investigated, and what you would recommend. Then put that onto your GitHub or even LinkedIn, because this is how you build a portfolio that proves that you can do the job. Now, truth be told, doing this on your own is going to be extremely difficult, and that's okay. You're going to feel lost. You probably are going to want to give up at some point. And again, that's okay. That is completely normal. Everyone goes through it. So do take breaks, don't rush the process, and try your best to seek out mentorship to help you with this journey. Now, if you do want a structured way to build all of this in one place, I have built an ecosystem called the MyD for Forge that does exactly that. Inside the Forge, you get access to a SOC simulator, which has simulated clients running Splunk, Microsoft Sentinel, and Defender XDR. So you're not just learning the tools, you are working with real alerts. We also run monthly Capture the Flag events, and we have a structured 90-day SOC Accelerator program, along with a DFR course that takes you to the next level. And you get resume and report feedback from me and the community as well. Basically, every area that I just talked about in this video, the Forge is built around it. So if you want a done-for-you solution where you can practice exactly what hiring managers are looking for and you are in the position to do so, I would highly recommend checking it out, and the link will be in the description down below. That is it for the video, and I hope that you found that informative. If you did, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.